What is up, Earthnoids and Space Noids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode we are continuing our journey with Mars Xeon, an F90 cluster. Last time, Mars Xeon citizens Ivalu and Leon helped their people flee, while Bosch fought in the Mars F90. She piloted the Mars GUNDAM, another replica of F90. This time, Ivalu will take on the Death Guns team. A mysterious person comes in with the Hull Fighter and docks with Mars GUNDAM, and we actually see Bosch Weller's death. So let's get into this. An Alexandria-class ship breaks off from the fleet battle and descends into the Mars surface. They have a package that they want no one to get their hands on. Olympus Mons fires. It was relatively vague in our discussion of the original F90 manga, but Olympus Mons has been converted into a giant laser that can shoot at Earth. Leon receives a message from Command. It seems the volcano laser has fired and hit the fleet in Mars orbit, but it doesn't look like it is going to hit Earth. They are being told to fall back to Section 2, which is 20 kilometers away. Ivalu is mad that they fired, as it was never ready. She wonders if it was really worth it. Everything is crumbling around on the Mars surface. Gunmad tells the Death Guns team to fall back. Ian is fighting against Ivalu. She is using the Quick Type mission pack. The F90Q GUNDAM F90 Quick Type is a mission pack that improves maneuverability and agility. Thrusters and apogee motors have been added throughout the unit. This mission pack on F90 helped with the contribution of F91. The pack can be ejected when not in use. Gunmad is amazed that this unit is still operational after the hit. A small frame with incredibly thick armor. Gunmad doesn't understand these design choices. Dodonga wants to be the one to take care of it. Gunmad allows him. Dodonga's gun raid is using the Guards type mission pack. This utilizes the multiple beam weapon. Dodonga and Ivalu fight. She is on the defensive. He says that a Gundam without its horns is nothing but a hollow shell. Wise words from someone who looks like the anime equivalent of Drewski. No one can handle the power of Dodonga. Gunmad opens up a comm with Ivalu. He tells them that they are a Jupiter-based mercenary group helping Thetis. They want her to hand over the mobile suit. Ivalu says if she does this, can they ensure the safety of the civilians? Gunmad goes, "Huh. No, you've seen too much, little girl. That's not how this works." Like many Gundam heroes before, she says that she doesn't understand these problems that adults create. Ivalu rushes in. That is when Leon remote activates a downed RF Zaku machine gun, distracts Dodonga, allowing Ivalu to come in and slice off the gunraid's arm. Dodonga fires on Ivalu out of rage. Gunmad steps in and says that he is going to end this now. He is rocking the O-type mission pack with the beam manteau. The F90O Gundam F90 officer type is a commander mission pack. Blade antennas and Vulcan guns are added to the backpack. This gives the unit greater communication capabilities. 2 beam sabers and an enhanced beam rifle are also stored on the backpack. Ivalu is bloodied and beaten. She makes a deal with the Gundam like it's the devil and surrenders her soul if they can make it out of here alive. That is when pew-pews scatter all over the Mars surface. A voice comes over the comms telling Ivalu to allow him to dock with her. Hot. He says he isn't a friend of Xeon, but he needs her machine. It is the Hull Fighter. It docks with the Mars Gundam to form the F90 Verethragna. Remember, the N-type mission pack has a cycle frame, which then passes it on to the Mars Gundam. It also gives the unit a shield, a beam cannon, a machine cannon, and hilt funnels. Verethragna seems to be the operating system name. This man says that his name is Yuri Manovsky. Unlike Fastest Formula, they don't leave you in the dark even though you know the masked character. The Death Guns team says that there are rumors of an SNRI Jupiter Division pilot that once piloted F90. Gunmad says, screw it, let's remove the Death Haunt screw. This is a limiter put on to the units. Once released, the gun rates emit a light. This new Hull Fighter, when attached to the Mars Gundam, breaks the Death Gun's formation. The Gundam tears through Dodonga's unit. It is barely held together. Yuri Manovsky says that the more time you spend on the battlefield, the more you die inside. This Death Guns team doesn't realize that they are walking corpses. Yuri says this isn't strength. Ivalu watches as he continuously breaks the gunraid's formation, even with their limiters off. Gunmad says, alright, we are done here. We know there are civilians right around the corner. Give up the unit or they are dead. Yuri tells Ivalu that he will kill them even if you give up the unit. He has to take out the F80 with the O-type mission pack first. As Yuri moves in, Gunmad says, what a shame, and instantly vaporizes a downed Zaku, killing Leon. Ivalu, watching, goes mad. This causes her psycho waves to assume control of the Mars Gundam. She creates a psycho field with ease. Damn, we only seen these man-made invisible force fields a few times throughout all of UC. Ivalu says, hold my Minovsky particles, I got this. She assumes control of the hilt funnels and takes out Dodonga and Ian's limbs. Yuri tries to calm her down. A VSBR blast comes out of nowhere. It is a Hardy gun. It happens to be Diaz, who is the one who hired them. Dias? He wonders why they are trying to kill the pilot instead of retrieving the unit like he hired them to do. It is a man rocking some fabulous Char glasses. Ivalu thinks this is the man who caused so much bloodshed. She attacks the hardy gun. The man notes that she is using the N-type and completely controlling the unit. She is a novice, but she isn't a nobody. That's for sure. He fires the pseudo VSBR, but the Mars Gundam was able to tank it. The man tells the death guns to fall back. This place is about to fall apart anyways. Oh hey, Leon's still alive. Olympus Mons falls apart. Okay, now he's dead, right? March UC-121. This incident marked the end of the First Oldsmobile War. Ivalu thinks of her mother, UC-111. She rushes to her mother's side after an accident during a mobile suit test. Her mother tells her that this is for the greater good of Mars. Ivalu thinks that Zeon doesn't deserve her sacrifice. Her mother passes away. She wakes up to find Leon. How are you still alive? Yuri Manovsky took back control of the Gundam. He says that she did good for her first time with the N-type. She says she had a dream about her mother. Yuri goes, "Mommy? I have mommy issues." He says that she has to walk her own path. Ivala wants to go help out people that may be in distress. They note that Fetty forces are down there, but she still wants to help regardless. That is when a battered F90 comes in. It happens to be Def Stallion. He tells them that there is a temporary ceasefire. We flash back to a young Def Stallion. Mobile suits have always been his passion. In school, he participated in mobile suit races and ended up being a champion in an amateur circuit. So yes, people are creating sports with mobile suits. This landed him a job at SNRI working on the Formula project. His goals were to create mobile suits designed for deep space exploration. But then the Oldsmobiles made their appearance and stole Unit 2, and his commander Bosch Weller turned on them. He was forced to fight against his old comrade. Bosch says, "You know, I was there during Char's rebellion. I saw the cosmic glow." Here he goes again. Bosch, you really need more stories to tell. This one's getting old. He once again talks about harnessing the power of the cosmic glow. Def tells him that the stories of Amado that Bosch used to tell him, that man would never do what he is doing. The ending of F90 plays out. After the explosion of Olympus Mons, Bosch disappeared. Def wonders if it could have been possible to prevent this bloodshed. Ivalu sees a lot of her and him. They get access to the computer systems in Section 2. Mobile suits open a door jammed to reveal the outside world. They see a graveyard of death on both sides. Def believes that Navi and Sid are dead. They're picking up a signal. It must be Bosch. Both Def and Ivalu go to investigate. Also, Liv is still there. Yuri. It's hard to keep track of all this kid's names. The signal is coming from under the magma. They're able to pull out the F90 Mars type. Def opens the hatch to find a toasty Bosch Weller. Ivalu and Leon tell him that they gave them a second chance. Bosch tells the new types to not lose their way like he did. Be more like Amado. Bosch passes away. Dude was melted into his seat. Death is probably more humane at this point. Def mentions that Bosch once told him during a drunken rambling that Char Daikun moved too fast. If you watched yesterday's Gundam Pulitzer episode, a particular type of person refers to Char as Char Daikun. But Def believes that Bosch, who admired Amado, ended up becoming Char. Def has to return to his fleet. Yuri Manovsky reminds them that he is still here, as Zeon fleet is moving in, and that they aren't friends. In fact, he's taken this Gundam and Ivalu. The fleet approaching Mars happens to be the Jupiter Zeon fleet. In the original F90 manga, the story started with a Jupitrus-class ship, the Kobayashi Maru, as it was destroyed by a mysterious force. We learn here that this was Jupiter Zeon stealing Helium-3 and the SNRI's next-gen AI chips. This, along with the theft of F90 Unit 2, is what helped birth the Mars Gundam. Leon tries to stop Yuri, but he shoots a shot near him. He says that the Mars Gundam contains an AI system originally developed for the Formula project. Mars combined it with Unit 2 to control the Olympus Mons cannon. Jupiter Zeon is about to strip all of Mars Zeon's resources. If she stays with Zeon, he will kill her right now, or she can come with him. Def says there is a third option. She can come with him and the Federation. Def and Yuri begin arguing with one another. Ivalu steps in and says that she doesn't want to fight for Zeon or the Federation. She wants to use the Gundam to fight for herself. For some reason, Yuri could live with this. He shoots at and clips her helmet for maximum drama, however. Yuri says to be careful as the AI system is very cunning. He just floats off. Sid and Navi meet up with Def and his busted F90. With him is Ivalu and the Red Gundam. They use the mass driver system on the outskirts to launch into Mars orbit towards the neutral colonies, Moshide Karikuru. At this colony, they drop off the children and civilians. These colonies are struggling to keep their populations up, so they will be welcomed with open arms. However, Leon tells Ivalu that he won't be joining her. He is going to join Jupiter Zeon. This is where Leon and Ivalu said their final goodbyes. And that will do it for this episode. We get to see how Def made it out of the fight with Bosch, along with Bosch's ultimate fate. In the end, he regretted his action. We also learn that Dur is alive doing his own thing. It is kind of weird that he would just let Ivalu take the Red Gundam, but whatever. Next time, we are introduced to Lyle Wolf. Ivalu meets Jabjan, and we learn about F90 Cluster. Also, Ivalu and Def have a mock battle. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, nothing says teamwork like trusting in the docking sequence. Peace.